Hello there everyone, Ashnflash here, and welcome on into my spoiler review for Echo. If you don't know how these videos work, we go non-spoilers, then spoilers, talk about the future of the characters in the show, in the MCU, as well as LEGO talk. How did LEGO do, and what else could they have done? So if you want to hop around to those different topics, you can find them linked down below. But let's jump into non-spoilers. Non-spoilers, I think that going into this, I really enjoyed Maya as a character from Hawkeye. But in terms of her having her own show, I was not really looking forward to that. I think that myself and obviously a lot of other people were really excited when we heard that Matt Murdock, Daredevil, and Kingpin were going to be in this show. And that was probably the thing that I was most excited about. But then once you watch that first episode without giving anything away, I think that all that really becomes secondary, because the way that this show just has you connect and sort of fill in maybe some of the gaps from Hawkeye, add to her backstory, it just makes you really care and fall in love with Maya. And I think that you just forget about, oh yeah, Kingpin and Daredevil. Whenever that shows up, it's like bonus, little cherries on top. But at the core, it's about Maya. And it was just so great to see just everything that they did with her, which I'll just get into more in spoilers. But I think that overall, I really enjoyed the show. I think that there was some funny moments. There was some really well choreographed fights and different things. And just the story overall, I had a really good time that maybe my expectations were just so low that it really surprised me. I think that having everything drop at one day as well was just a fun experience. It really did take me back to those Netflix days. And in terms of the violence or maturity of this, it wasn't really like anything that I would like say, oh my gosh, they really pushed the boundary here for the MCU. Like, I feel like the fights and bullets and different things were just the same, but just there was blood. Like, there was nothing really, maybe one kill that was violent, but even then, I feel like there was nothing on par with anything that you see from the Netflix shows. Like, those were much worse, I think. But anyways, let's jump in here to spoilers. So Maya's performance was just incredible here. I think that it was a combination of a couple of things. It was the writing, it was the performance, and for someone like me who really does not like reading subtitles, because with different shows and movies that do that, I really like to multitask. I like to do different things at the same time, whether it's building a Lego set or drawing or different things like that, where it doesn't require my 100% focus to read every single little word or I'm going to miss something. But with the MCU and different things, I will do that. But with this, I wasn't like annoyed that I was doing that. And I think that, I think I said that with What If, like, it just speaks testament to the words that are being written and spoken through sign language here. But the performance as well, they were just so captivating. At times it was funny, at times it was powerful, at times it was heartfelt. And I just think that again, speaks volumes to all of that. I think that overall they just did such a good job storytelling and developing these characters in such a meaningful way. I really enjoyed just seeing Maya's backstory again, but then even her relationships with the family that she has now, seeing further a little bit with her father, but then also her meeting her cousins, as well as her uncle that had the laser tag, the skating area. That was great. And then also, though, her grandparents, I think, really stole the show, and they were just so funny. The banter that they had together, I think, was just great. And then their separation, but then their way that they were flirting with each other and different things, I think, was just really funny and heartfelt. But I don't know if that was really her grandfather or not, but I really loved just the moments that he had with Maya. Just, it was so funny again, just the way that they were sort of bouncing off each other was really great. But then the grandmother, just that scene in the kitchen was just, it was so powerful, and just the performance that Maya gives there, and just like, I needed you in those moments when she was a kid and lost her mom, then the dad. Like, I just, like, that was just such great acting, such great writing, and But obviously, the scenes that she had, and this will lead into this next part, with Kingpin was just phenomenal. And again, obviously, I'm very nostalgic for these characters, just like going back to the original Daredevil show, and then anytime that they've popped up throughout the MCU has just been amazing. But further seeing this relationship here was just really, really great. Just the fact that Kingpin is trying to sort of fill this void in his life with Maya, and just sort of being sort of like this fatherly figure to her, and but at the same time using her. And just like one of my favorite lines was just the fact that you never even bothered to learn ASL. Like, that's so, like, and then he gets angry and flies off the handle there. That was so powerful to me. Like, the fact that, he claims to love her, like a daughter, and do all these things for her, and then he's not even like taking the time to learn the language that she speaks. Instead, he's cheating with the contact lenses and different things. I really love that bit. And although my favorite part, and this will lead into this next bit, was a couple of things here. The fact that she was trying to heal him, like went from killing him to then taking down his empire to, this is a broken, fractured human being, and that she's trying to heal him, I think was really, really an interesting take there. So we'll touch on that more in the future of the MCU, but I really liked just the fact that if you go back to Hawkeye and you think of the use of "you're a mean one, Mr. Grinch," when you first see that, oh, Kingpin's the big bad, I really love the fact that, in a way, because he had that hole in his heart, right? You go to the Grinch song, and she was sort of trying to heal him and grow his heart a few sizes bigger, right? That's kind of cool. I like that. As well as, though, just seeing his backstory and the fact that he realizes that while he may not have any biological kids, he thinks of Maya as a child, and just like his father, he failed her. And bringing that in here, giving her the hammer to take him out just like he did to his father, I think was just, again, full circle, I think is what they say. It was just a really, really powerful performance on his part. Like, that was just so great. I thoroughly love that. And I just want to talk about Daredevil, and just that fight was just so great. I audibly screamed. I had not really paid attention too closely to the trailers of where these different scenes and stuff were taking place. Like, my friend was like, "Oh, I knew it was gonna happen here, the fight," because I recognized the fence, the chain fence and different things, that room. I had no clue. So when he popped up, was just blew me away. I think that fight, the choreography there was just amazing, and a lot of the fight sequences throughout this whole thing was really, really well done. But yeah, that was just so much fun. Just how he was stopping her from grabbing guns, but then when she did get one, he was able to stop it. And oh my goodness, he was just so great. I love Daredevil so much. Obviously would have loved, a little bit more of him popping up at the end, some post-credit scene or something, but just have to save that for the show, which we'll talk about later. I want to talk about the canonicity, however you want to say it, of the Netflix shows. I think we've talked about this a lot, whether it was in Hawkeye and probably in She-Hulk as well, and maybe No Way Home, about the Daredevil shows, and by extension, all of the other ones on Netflix being canon to the MCU. And I think that I have struggled with it because of there are just such lackluster moments in the Netflix shows, not Daredevil, and a couple of other highlights with maybe the first season of Jessica Jones and then Punisher and different things, that it's like, yeah, I'd love all that to be canon, and doing that, though, brings in a bunch of other stuff. But officially, it has been added to the Disney Plus timeline. And I just want to ask two questions here as to why I have sort of defending why I've been against it. Is, why did they wait until now to add them to the Disney Plus timeline? Why not add them when you added all the Netflix shows onto Disney Plus in the first place? And then my second question is, in the official timeline book that they just published, at the end of 2023, Why are these shows and events not on that timeline mentioned in that book? Because we have that quote from Kevin Feige at the very forefront of the book talking about all of the shows and movies and different things that were produced by different studios and different people. They are canon to the multiverse, but not canon to the main timeline. And that was in reference to these shows and other shows and different things like that. So that's my 2 questions. Last thing I'll say here is that WandaVision was called the first show in the MCU. But anyways, moving on now. Let's talk about the future, right? We're here. I'm excited to see where things go, because that end credit scene, I was like going into this, when I was thinking about having to film this video, I was like, man, I want to talk about spoilers from Daredevil Born Again and the set photos about how Fisk is running for mayor. And then here we go, this end credit scene talks and sets that up. So I'm very happy about that. That's a storyline from the comics. And I think that I'm just sort of confused by if they're scrapping everything they've done for that show for the most part. They've now locked in with the fact that he's going to run for mayor here. So I'm interested to see how that's going to tie things in. They're about to start filming, I think, pretty soon. So I'm excited to see where that goes. But I'm excited to see Maya and Echo there play a part on that, because I think Matthew and Daredevil, he's going to want to stop Kingpin, right? He's going to want to bring him in. But that's not necessarily Maya's goal now. Maya's goal is going to be maybe to heal him and to maybe, use him running for mayor as a good thing. I don't know. I'm just trying to make these connections here from where we see her at the end. Maybe she'll fight Daredevil again. I'd really love to see them have a rematch. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited just for more Kingpin, more stuff like that in the future. But let's jump into Lego talk, I think. I mean, the figure is just, it's immaculate. I really loved seeing the origin of this costume that we see here. I wish it wasn't spoiled from the Lego figure, but it's a really cool outfit. I really love just even the gold leg. Like, that's on the figure. That's really, really cool. I feel like I still don't know what her accessory is. I'm going to assume it's like some sort of rattle. I don't know, like some musical instrument there from that event, but I'm not too sure. But really great figure. I'm shocked, obviously, like a lot of people, that Lego did something off of a TVMA show, but I don't believe they knew at the time, and I would expect that never to happen again, probably. But in terms of sets, there's nothing really. I mean, just going back to Hawkeye, there's definitely stuff there that Maya could be thrown into. But in terms of a set from this show, I can't really think of anything that would lend itself really well to that. But hopefully, Daredevil Born Again we can get Echo there, and maybe Kingpin and Daredevil too. That'd be really great. Her first Kingpin, please. We need it so badly. But anyways, everyone, what do you think of Echo? Did you like the show? Are you excited for it? Do you want a second season? Where do you want to see her pop up next? Comment it all down below. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Hope you all have a great day. I will see you all in the next one.